everyone, I'm going to do some art that you've all asked me for many times here on the channel, which is baby shark. And with him, what I'm going to do is a box full of balloons. It will be beautiful, you'll see. Check it out with me. I'm G and this is the Buba DIY channel. Check out the description and go ahead and give us a follow. Welcome to the channel. You can find me on all social media platforms. Give me a follow there too, okay? So without further ado, let's begin. To do baby shark, I'm going to use balloons from Hockey, who are sponsoring this video. So I'm going to use 5-inch balloons to blow up to between 4.5 and 6 inches. These were the colors I chose, citrus yellow and white, to make baby shark. But if you decide to do mummy shark or daddy shark, you could choose hot pink or blue. And your daddy shark will look great too. So let's go ahead and blow them up. As you blow them up, check that they are the correct measurement so that they look cute in our box. After blowing them up, remember to give them a squeeze, just like this. Guys, I had said 5 inches, but I'm blowing them up to 6 inches because Hockey balloons are good quality and they will last and will blow up to 6 inches easily. Watch this, see how it fits through the hole perfectly. It's the correct size and it's well rounded. And now let's assemble. I'll leave the link to the template in the first comment. Print it out and after cut it out, glue together the parts. Begin gluing on the horizontal edge and then after glue the vertical edge. And look how cute it looks all assembled. After he's assembled, we are going to put him on our board. This board that I'm using is a polystyrene board. It's almost like a pressed polystyrene. This board is called Depron XPS and it is 5mm. You can also do this on cardboard or with foam board if you can find one with these same measurements. This polystyrene board is 1 meter in length, so 68 centimeters. To transfer the template onto the board, I'm using a pen. First, I stenciled on the outline of the whole template onto the board. Then I cut it out using a very sharp utility knife, and you can see that it is a good quality knife. It's not one of those weak ones. But whatever you have will do as long as it's sharp. In order to achieve the height and size of our baby shark, I need to glue together 2 boards. So first I glued them together using a glue gun, gluing between the 2 edges and sticking them together. And afterwards, sticking some Durex tape over the gap. You can use wide Durex, which I prefer, but I only had this thin Durex and we use what we have, so this is what I used. And after completing this part, I also needed some strips of the same board, strips of 15 centimeters in width. So I used 2 more boards to cut out the strips. So to cut out the strips, you need to have a sharp pocket knife. Choose a good pocket knife, guys, so you won't have any difficulties with this part. And I'm going to use my metal ruler because it's a whole meter long. Cool, right? And after you've cut the first one, you can use it as a template to cut out the second. And you can do all of your cutouts based off of the first template. There's a tip for you, making our lives easier. And with the strips cut out, I will need some strips that will make up his sides because he's a little oval in some parts. For this, what I'm going to do is use my ruler, and I'm not going to cut, okay? But I'm going to use the penknife to go over the strips in order to crease the board but not cut the boards completely. So I do this from start to finish with a distance of 3 centimeters between each one. The more narrow the curve you want to make, the shorter distance between these semi-cuts. And after doing this in a few parts, it's time to start gluing to our initial template. And for this, I'm definitely going to use a glue gun. So there's no secret here, you can take your time doing this using the techniques that you've seen here on the channel. Use very hot glue all around the larger template. Glue along its 5mm length and glue the strips along the edge. Do this all the way around the template on all edges. Join the sides together at the point. Cut only the part where you are going to turn the board. If you don't need to cut it, don't cut it. I'm going to speed through this part for you, but watch along in case you're unsure at any point, because when you see the process with your own eyes, you are much less likely to get confused. A great tip I can give you for this part of the process to help you in the sticking is to stick the parts on with masking tape as well, because this will mean that you don't need to secure the parts whilst the glue dries, so you're able to glue a larger area and stick the tape on in order to secure each part. After it's dried, you can remove the tape and it won't spoil the board. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you like this, if you're enjoying it, and what you would like to see here on the channel. Look how cool this part of the tail looks. And so you will put glue along the edges, stick some tape on to help you out so you don't have to wait around for it to dry, and glue the edges together. Stick on some tape and move on to the next step. You see how when the board is semi-cut, it's easier for you to remove the part that you need without having to cut out a new piece. I stuck on the balloons using a glue gun on the board. Why use a glue gun? Because my glue gun is different. It has the option of 2 temperatures. So when the glue gun is at a low temperature, I'm able to use it on the balloons without the balloon bursting. But the high temperature would almost certainly cause the balloon to burst. It's never happened to me, but I'm sure that it must hurt. So please be very careful if you use a glue gun. You can find glue for balloons, but I have never tested it on polystyrene. So if anyone tries it out, leave a comment to tell me what I can use instead of a glue gun. Help a friend out. So after all the parts are done, all the sides assembled, I'm going to put the mold inside and again mark which parts will be white. So you can mark off the section using a pointed object or use a pen to make a mark. Once you've marked the template, you're going to cut out some strips, but this time there will be 5mm less. So the height of your strips will be 14.5 centimeters. And you can put these strips inside, gluing them to the side of your baby shark as well as to the bottom. If you need to use something to help you, feel free. An extra piece of polystyrene board and tape. I used tape and stuck the tape to the base of the baby shark and passed it over the strip to the other side, where I stuck it to the base again to help me hold the strip in place. On the edges, you can also do this so that it is curved, because here you won't have much to support it. The same way that you did one side, you will repeat on the other side, and you just need to follow the drawing. If you need to increase or modify any part, feel free to chop and change. And I finished just a little bit before the tail. Not the same as the drawing, but this is just a small detail that doesn't make a difference to the final product. Looking at it, you can see that it turned out very nicely. And look how the finished product has turned out. Very cool, right? It turned out really great, and now that it's ready, what I'm going to do is paint the yellow parts. And to do this, I used PVA paint. It's a paint used for crafts, so it dries quickly, and it's very easy to use. I would just advise you that as you are painting, you do from the bottom upwards, and you paint in the same direction from beginning to the end so that it doesn't leave any marks. And you can finish it off with a paint roller, which will even out the paint on your yellow section. For this part of the process, Barbara came to help me. She loves helping out and getting involved, and it's so nice to have our kids around, principally encouraging them to make art, create, do manual tasks. It's so great and really important for them. So let your little ones help out here too. After the side parts have all been painted, it's time to attach the balloons that we have already blown up. And so you will attach the balloons with the sizes that fit the mold according to the plan. In most of this larger section, I placed balloons inflated to 6 inches, and in the smaller section, which is in the fins, I placed balloons that were inflated to 4.5 inches, and between the two fins, a balloon that was 6 inches. The same amount of balloons on both sides. And also where they meet here at the end, I also placed a few. So we filled the tail with 4.5 and 6-inch balloons. And for the inside, the white section, we placed 6-inch balloons. And on either side, where it's slightly smaller, we placed a balloon that was 4.5 inches. Now it's time to cut out the template for the eyes and the mouth. So I cut out the template and went over it with foam sheets, both white foam and red. The red I used had black glitter, and this part that is a little different from the red, I stuck on red paper to give emphasis to the tongue. But it looks good. And to glue onto Baby Shark, I used a glue gun and glued them onto the balloons. Always checking at the front to see if it was crooked or not. And now you can just dance and get the party started. Okay guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. You can see that there's no big secret, it's simple. And it's good for you to make and sell for you to earn some money from this. You can rent it out and you can use it in your own decorations. It's a very cool idea. I'll see you here next time. Lots of love and see you for the next video. Bye. Look how big he is.